Hey, this is Danny. This just a quick little vid, just for some friends of mine that who I think will appreciate this kind of setup that you don't typically see every day in somebody's home shop or whatever. But this is a turntable, and some of you know what I use it for. But for those that you don't, I make big telescope mirrors, and those mirrors are made from glass. Usually pretty big diameters, pretty thick. There's a lot of work on the surface of those mirrors that has to be done before it can be installed on a telescope. So I do a lot of that work on this turntable right here that I built. And to run the thing, in the bottom of it here, I did have just a one-third horse AC motor, and of course to change speeds on that, I had to have some roller chains. I had some different sizes of sprockets in there on that shaft, and it would take me a little bit, but I could drop the sprocket size off and put a different size on, and different pre-assembled roller chain to go with that to change the speeds, and that worked okay, but it was kind of time consuming. I wanted to be more efficient, more productive. So what I did to upgrade the whole thing here, the turntable needs to turn, and it needs to turn at various speeds so that I can do very, very precise work on the glass. Very precise. I mean, things have to be within less than a thousandth of an inch when I'm doing any kind of surface work on these telescope mirrors. So I've changed things around a bit to be more productive. And what I have in here is, this is not something typical you would see in everybody's home shop, is I have this one horse 3-phase motor, and then a matching gear reducer. It's 30-to-1, and it accommodates the 3/4 inch shaft that I have here that runs up to the top of the turntable. So it's a 3-phase motor. So I don't have 3-phase in my house. So how did we do that? So what I did is I got a VFD right here, variable frequency drive. And you look on there, it's 1 horsepower. It's 120 volts in at the top, and it has a 3-phase output. And then I can change the parameters to get whatever I want there. But by using this, I can change the speed at the turn of a dial, that dial right there. And the display gives me all kinds of different parameters and settings and stuff that I can set up for however I want it to run. But I can do it at the turn of a dial. And like I said, that was 120 in, 3-phase out. So that's how I'm able to control that 1 horse 3-phase motor. That's a pretty beefy motor, but I also, these telescope mirrors can be very heavy, and there's a lot of weight that goes on top of them too, so I needed something pretty beefy setup. So I got it all plugged in, I got the parameters all set, and really all I got to do is got a run and stop button, and the display is measured in hertz, and the way I have it set up, 1 hertz is about 1 RPM, and I can go anywhere from 0 to 60 RPMs at the turn of a dial. So I'll just turn that up about halfway. See the turntable starting to go, and it just takes a couple seconds, and it's already at 31.4, which is about halfway to 60. Does a very good job. Turns perfectly. And we'll just crank that up all the way. Just like that. It's at 60 RPMs. Just at the turn of a dial on an AC motor. So that's pretty impressive. I can run a 3-phase motor in my 120 shop here. So, and I just turn it all the way off real quick. It slows down pretty fast. It just takes a few seconds from full bore to stop. And there she is. Just took a few seconds. And here, I set it to 2.4 hertz. That actually comes out to about 2.4 RPMs. on some parts of the process of the telescope mirrors, that when I make those, I need some really slow speeds, I need some moderate speeds, I need some fast speeds, and I'm not losing any torque on that, so I can keep the same amount of beefy hoarseness that I need to have, and I have any variable speed I want from 0 to 60 RPMs with this setup. So I've got the turntable that goes down in the shaft, a gear reducer. I've got the 3-phase 1-horse motor right there. It was really easy to wire up. The instructions were just right on the thing. Didn't take nothing at all. Got the VFD, the variable frequency drive, and it's really easy to set up. Instructions with that were very clear. There were some parameters and things that I had to set up that took me a little bit to learn how to do, but it didn't take too long. Wasn't bad at all. I mean, I had to, when I first set it all up and tested it, I had the whole thing hooked up and running in 20 minutes. And then, of course, I integrated it into the table, and that took a little longer, but it works very well. I have any kind of speed I want out of that. I've got 1 horse to work with, so that should be plenty beefy for what I'm doing here. And I've got the VFD, the gearbox. It's a 30-to-1 with the 5/8 input, 3/4 inch output, and the 1-horse motor. All of that came from Automation Direct. AutomationDirect.com, and the prices were really reasonable. I had it here within 72 hours. They did a great job. Everything works perfect. So I just wanted to show some of that. I know that some of you guys would appreciate this kind of setup, and it worked out really well, and I'm really proud of it. Thanks.